why should the customers should buy my product? What is the differentiation? What is the value that I create in my product? What is the reason? So you have to understand why the USP, unique selling proposition, right? Why should my customers buy my product? What is the differentiation that I create? What is the value proposition that I offer them? Right, that is also very, very important. Then, ineffective application of entrepreneurship, in the sense, right? Willingness, ability to change, look at what is happening in the market, right? So that is another factor that basically made me a failed entrepreneur, right? Then I will also talk about strategic success factors that helped Epic, right? First, I found my passion, right? I was basically put my foot on the right direction, right? Then the creativity and innovation, of course, that is the name of the game that Epic talks about today. The innovation, the creativity, how we differentiate ourselves in the market, our products, right? We always go and talk about our creativity, our innovation, how we differentiate, what extra we give, how create value, additional value for the money that they pay us. So that is one of the great success factors that we have in Epic. Then the connections and relationships, the connections with reciprocal faith, as I told you, the reciprocal faith. The credibility we have built, when I started my company, I actually relied on the credibility, my personal credibility. That was my first breakthrough. My first breakthrough was entirely on the personal credibility that I have gained during my previous employment. That credibility gave me the first breakthrough, because that particular customer who gave me the first business was willing to trust me. He trusted me and he said, yes, I believe what you say, and then I'm willing to give you business, and then let's do it. So that is where I basically made my first breakthrough. So credibility and trust is very, very important for any organization to survive. Then the competence, your knowledge, right? Your talent, your skills, knowledge, and your attitude all together. Competence. And competence has two factors. One is core competence. How do you, what are the skill set that you have to differentiate you from other competitors? Then the distinct competence. How do you make yourself an expert, where you have knowledge which others don't have. So you basically come out and then you present yourself as an expert because of the distinct competence. The core competence is the competence, the knowledge that you have, where it will help you to differentiate you from your competitor. So you basically tell, this is the extra value that I can give you. Right. Then the agility. Agility is your ability to move, take side steps. When there is crisis hit you, how you take a side step and then move forward, right? Without going head on to these crisis situations, whether you can slightly change your strategic direction, utilizing the same resources that you have without much investment, right? You go on a path, and we'll say you are basically now facing an obstacle because of a disruptive technology. Now you cannot move forward. Now how creative you are to utilize your existing resources to change your strategic resources. Maybe by adopting very little extra resources, change your strategic direction and then go on a different path so that you don't face that crisis anymore. The value proposition, USP, I explained about this earlier. The strategy, finding your niche market, what are you going to offer, how you basically, what strategies that you are going to approach. Are you going through cost leadership or differentiation, right? What's the composition that we want to basically use? Then your management and leadership skills, which I don't want to talk. Then perseverance and mental toughness. I told you about how important the perseverance. Even if you fail, your ability to try again. Take the pressure, take the stress, take up the stress, and then stand tall when there is pressure built up. I found this one in the internet. Right. So I thought, I should show this one. According to Steve Jobs, it says, I am concerned that the difference between a successful entrepreneur and unsuccessful entrepreneur, according to him, is the perseverance. Perseverance. I think he says 50%. I think the next 50% is the passion, finding your passion. So passion plus perseverance will, I think, complete the 100%. Right. This is how, just to tell you how we, Epic, has basically creatively mixed our competencies to address to different market verticals. But this is a fantastic thing. This is a study that I did, in fact, during my even doctoral research, in the sense, right? Now you can see the competencies that we have, the level of competencies, and then these competencies have been mixed differently to create different products. And these different products have been applied to different markets in a creative way, different verticals. So the knowledge in secure payment transaction, automation, switching, the knowledge in EDC plus application development, then encryption, security side, IT security, then the mobile application, right? What we have done is we had 4 skill sets, and then we mixed and matched these different skills to create different creative products, and then go into different markets. So same skill sets, but applied in different way to create different creative products, right? And applied to different verticals. So this is one of the great success formulas, strategic success formulas that Epic is even practicing today. We practice this today. Who will survive and thrive? Who will survive and thrive? Is that the biggest product, or the company that has money, or talent? Okay. If you read this one, the one who can quickly respond, your speed in responding to opportunities. So adapt to change, identify pockets of niche opportunities. Remember the word niche opportunities, because opportunities are there even in crisis times. But you must have the talent to pick those niche opportunities, pockets of opportunities in everywhere, and then address those before your competitor. But before that, you got to validate demand, which is very important. If you don't validate demand, what is demand actually? What is demand? Now people say that, okay, fine, there is a product, and they come and say that, there is a demand, right? How do you validate demand? Oh, what is actual demand? What is? Demand is nothing but willingness to pay. If no one is willing to pay, there is no demand, my dear, right? I mean, you see that, we'll say 40% of Sri Lankan the population are in the lowest income bracket, right? They demand housing. For an entrepreneur, is there a demand? If you build houses, will they buy? No, they will tell the government to buy or give them free, right? So then there is no demand in that. But you, as an entrepreneur, have to validate when you come up with a product, whether whether your customer are willing to pay, whether they are willing to pay. Now you can create a beautiful application, we'll say app, in your mobile app, right? Thinking that you can actually create business. But if no one is willing to pay, but they like to have it, it's good to have application, app. You basically download that widget into your mobile phone, and you will use it. But if you're not willing to pay, if you say that, fine, you got to pay $1 to download that one, right? But if you're not willing to pay, there is no demand. Right? So, validation of demand is very essential for you to survive, in the sense. So, demand validation have to be done. Best practices, I think with this one I will go into the Q&A so that you can, if you have time, you can ask questions. Operate within financial comfort zone. Never as a startup, never expose yourself into unnecessary financial pressure. That's the worst thing that you can do. Because no sooner you get financial stress, your creativity vanishes. You have no time to attend to your customer demand, no time to attend to product development. You're only going behind banks and other means to access funds. Nothing else. So always, if you want to grow as a small company, operate within the financial comfort zone. Spend what you have. Don't try to expand if you can't spend. Don't expose yourself to too much credit or too much the financial liabilities. Right? Operate within the comfort zone, and then for the first few years, you can reinvest the profits back to your company to grow. Right? Don't expect to milk the cow within the first 5 years or 6 years, in the sense. Of course, Epic started paying dividends only after, I think, maybe 12th year. We keep on reinvesting our profits back to the company to grow. But I being the founder and our shareholders, we got different benefits. The sense, of course, my house rent was paid, my telephone bills was paid, electricity bills was paid. So those expenses were taken care of by the company. That's the benefit that I got. But we never milked or we never extracted dividend. But we reinvested that one for about 12 years, the sense. Right? Then only we started paying dividend. Right? So operate within financial and maintain a positive cash flow. Cash flow is the key. Remember, if you are running a company, any company, if you have negative cash flow, you are about to die. You cannot survive. Do whatever possible, resizing, selling your assets or whatever, make sure that you have positive cash flow. Cash flow is the key. Without positive cash flow, you cannot survive. Protect your business. The protection is very important. From small to grow, there will be so many threats that it will come in. The many threats that will come within your organization. As an entrepreneur, right? There can be threats coming from your own partners, own employees. So if you protect your own business from various forces, market forces, right, then you cannot survive. So do everything, get everything right to make sure that you protect your own business and own interest. If you are the owner, protect your asset, protect your ownership. Right. So that is very, very important. Because for any even legal issue, you must come forward and say that this is my ownership and this is how I have built my company. So protection is so important. Then attitude and personality, the sense, right? Your common sense, your qualities, now how you do things, taking things positive, right? Being a active person without being a passive person, and all these things, your attitude, your personality. Believe in you, right? And there's a saying that if you, what was the saying? It was, if you see it, seeing is believing, right? That's what people say, right? Seeing is believing. But actually it's the other way around. Is if you believe, you will see it. If you believe, you will see it. Right. So believe that you can do it. So either way, you're right, because every time, if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. Either way, you're right. What you think is right. So if you believe you can achieve it. This is Robin Sharma. I think you all know. You may have read some of his nice books. Success comes from believing in you when no one believes in you. Right? If you can believe yourself, right, success will be basically coming behind you. Right? Your mind is your servant, not the master. Why? I told you the fact. Because your mind is the culprit. Your mind is the biggest cheater. The mind cheats you every time, every moment that you breathe. So don't listen to your mind. Tell your mind what you want. That mind will do it. Because it's a neural system that will basically drive you different directions. Neural system is your mind and your body. Right? How you connect that one. So you tell your mind what to do, what you want, and then mind will do it. Get your mind to be your servant, not the master. If you try to listen to your mind, remember, mind is cheating you. They will tell you something good, but actually it is not. Right? So that is the true story. Then build connections with reciprocal people. I told you about it, right? No point of building networks if they are not willing to help you, right? So build your network with reciprocal faith. Self-discipline is very, very important. This is another very, very important factor which you should have. Every one of us who wants to achieve in life have to adopt some discipline. Some discipline. Why? Right. Now, the thing that I always say is that, I get up every day at 4:45. Right? By 5 o'clock I get my tea, and then after that I am active. Right? Even on holidays I do it most of the time. Sometimes, of course, if I'm very tired, I sleep maybe till about 5:30 or 6. But even on holidays I get up at that time. Why? I don't have any problem in sleeping till 8 o'clock. Right? I also like to sleep. Right? But I like to adopt a discipline, self-discipline. Why? When you have self-discipline, you can take action, you can react when you are emotionally down, when you are emotionally not fit, or when you are emotionally stressed out. Your self-discipline will push you to take action, right action, because you don't think it will happen in the sense, because you know that. Whatever the condition you are, you will get up at 5 o'clock. It's fine. Right? So like that, you have to have self-discipline. Sometimes, it may be reading maybe 1 or 2 pages of a book every day before you go to sleep. Right? So that will become a self-discipline. Every successful person in the world, I without fear I can say everyone have certain discipline, self-discipline adopted in their life. Not because they like it, not because they like and they enjoy it. No, it's difficult, but it is necessary. It's difficult, but it is necessary. That is why they have adopted it. Then rely on basic fundamentals, basic principles. You don't have to have so much of analysis to take decisions. No, understand the profit and loss, plus and minus. That is enough, right? Then, when you are big, of course, when there are so many other stakeholders come and want to look at you, assess your company, you can go into these ratios and, whole sort of thing. All the time, my finance manager, head of finance, he comes with big reports in the sense, the management reports and things like that. But of course, very beautiful, nice chart, colorful and all these things is fine. But end of the day, I look at the bottom line. First, what I look at it, whether we are on positive cash flow, right? Whether this company can survive. We have a going concern, right? Then I look at, how much we have made, the sense. Because profitability is our competitive advantage. We run our companies to make profit, right? A reasonable profit. So if we don't make enough profit, then I might as well do something else. Why should I run this company, right? So profitability. So those are the basics that I look at it in the sense. The other ratios and all these tax, that, all these things later, right? So rely on basics principles, plus and minus, profit and loss. I understand what it is. If you do this one, how much you're going to spend and how much you're going to get, right? Is it profitable? Yes, okay, I will do it, because there must be a return. Right? Then it's a very, very important quote. I always present this one to the audience whenever I speak, not because of the person, because it gives a lot of meaning inside. If you are born poor, it's not your problem. I'm born to a very ordinary family. My father was a PHI, public health inspector. My mother was a teacher, English teacher, right? We did not have luxuries, right? We didn't have any luxuries. I had four children in our family, right? And then we had to walk about almost 1 kilometer to catch a bus, and then another 8 miles to go to school, right? So we did not have luxuries in a sense. And of course, even our eating habits are very, very bare minimum, because my parents did not have money to eat. But that's okay. I'm here today. I'm talking to you with something behind me.